All right, viewers, what I'm going to discuss today isn't a hot button for many, but it should be. The topic is free trade. This is extremely important because the globalists are using it as a means to build regionalism on the road to a one world government. When you hear the words free trade, it sounds good. After all, who could be against it? Unfortunately, the fundamental problem is this. Once government is involved, it is no longer free trade. It is regulated trade, no matter what the title says. History has proven that trade agreements have morphed over several decades from what used to be simple agreements to complex agreements that consist of thousands of pages. Originally, free trade was a situation where a businessman from one country could do business with a businessman from another country without having any government control or interference. Basically, it was something that could be agreed to on one sheet of paper. Compare that to our latest trade agreements, such as the USMCA, which was 3,000 pages by the time it was enforced. It is fewer pages in its published, smaller print version. Treaties such as the USMCA, NAFTA, TPP, TTIP, etc., are all being used to transfer more and more power. Just read the USMCA closely, and you will see that America is subordinating our trade and economy to the United Nations. If you don't have time to read thousands of pages, you can see some of the examples in our video, USMCA, What America Signed Onto. Links are in the description. Regardless of what is in any trade agreement, the Constitution states that only Congress may regulate trade. Within all of these trade agreements, they are transferring power from Congress to transnational regional bodies. They are surrendering our nation's sovereignty to world government bodies like the UN and WTO. It is the globalist loophole for changing the United States Constitution. It is unconstitutional. Also, consider the USMCA or the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement was created with two countries that are led by Marxists, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador of Mexico and Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. Every time we make an agreement with Marxists, we are compromising our free enterprise system with that of the socialists, at best. We are allowing the socialists to control to some extent our economy. But it gets even worse. At the signing of the USMCA, President Trump was talking about trade, but Mexican President Obrador was talking about integration. Integration is a lot different than trade. And just recently, Obrador called on President Biden, suggesting the integration of the three countries of North America into a single state. Biden agreed. The John Birch Society has stopped the goal of the Marxists to merge the three countries into a single country 3 times in the past 3 decades. They tried it with the FTAA, the SPP, and NAFTA. Due to our efforts, the deadlines for the merger have been missed. They are using the USMCA for the same thing. Trump thought he was getting a trade deal. Mexico and Canada realized they were getting a merger. Trump trusts people way too much. The liberal Republican leadership also knows that the USMCA is a merger platform. They have used the conservative Republicans to support free trade, not understanding that it is much more than that. Few have read it. It gives a lot of control to the United Nations, taking key aspects of our economy and waterways out of our hands and placing them in the hands of the UN. If we continue on the road outlined in the USMCA, soon we will have no borders at all. If you think the border is a problem now, wait until they implement the USMCA fully, and we will have no borders, no border patrol, nothing to stop the masses of Central and South Americans from inundating our country, and anyone else for that matter. Every issue we see and are dealing with has to do with the destruction of our republic. The free trade agenda is just one of them. Keep in mind that the Marxists in Washington, Ottawa, and Mexico City would not agree to something that wasn't beneficial to their overall plan for subjugating the United States. Go to our website on free trade and get the recommended literature on the USMCA into the hands of your congressman. Read it yourself so that you can be conversant on the subject to bring it up at any public or private meeting with your congressman. The country you save will be your own.